Yay, thank you.
Cool. Hey, can you post that on the level 1 group? Because we both
Kelly.
we can't figure anything out. Okay.
Yep, I'll post it on there.
Thanks, Alexis. Matt.
Look,
Yo.
Lynn's on here. Everybody's on here. Hey, Matt.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. Alexis and her beautiful smile, and Kelly. Oh, I'm
Hey,
excited
Rich.
to see
How's it
all
going?
y'all.
Hey.
Hey, Karen.
How's it going?
Good. Hello. How are you doing?
Good. I'm going to be hiding myself so I can listen intently.
Don't hide. If Tom likes it like this, there's no excuse for anybody. Okay, I'm going to mute all and we're going to go live tomorrow because it's kind of. I imagine that you guys have something to do. All right. Cool. So we are going to cover how EXP Realty works today. Today, like always, my buddy Tom, sitting on my back porch, and myself are going to explain EXP for all you curious souls out there. Yesterday was my 3-year anniversary at this company, so that was very exciting. Probably added 10 years of lifespan to the end of my life. We celebrated 1,000 of us in this group. We have 1,000 of us strong. And the stock pre-COVID was at $7 a share. And what is it this morning? Well, it's only at $43.15. So many of us have built some ancillary wealth while we've been doing what we've always done, which is sell real estate. So we are going to explain EXP, and we're going to break it down into 3 lanes because I'm a car guy. So bear with me, but I think this is the easiest analogy. We have lane 1, which is our speeding lane. This is where we take chances. We get self-employed. We start LLCs. We go out there in the world and extract clients and sell real estate and work nights and weekends. And the economy can crash and the rates can go up and we can get sick. And this is just the lane 1 that we decided to pick. We do all of that at EXP with way more technology and tools ever created and the ability to work retroactively for 100%. So we're going to cover that. We're going to do that at the back half of this EXP Explained. What we're going to start with is kind of how the company operates. And we are also going to talk a lot about lanes 2 and 3, which we've never had available for us before. Lanes 2 and 3 are crucial. Lane 2 is how you earn stock at a publicly traded company, publicly traded on the NASDAQ, by the way, that's running $43 a share. A few very familiar faces on this call that must have invited the rest have experienced this ability to earn shares of stock for the last 1, 2, or 3 years. I think I'm the senior tenure on this call, but anyway, we've all been getting screenshots from each other of 6-figure stock portfolios for doing what we've done for the last 20 years without that. So we are owners. This is a company built by realtors for realtors, and the ownership is all of us. We're all agent/owners. We're going to talk to you about what that looks like. The stock is EXPI. If you have an attention span like me, you might do that on your phone while I'm talking. Take a peek. Okay. And then lane 3 isn't a cruise control. Lane 2 is, because whether you like it or not, you're going to get stock. And if you hate it, you can gift it away to somebody. But if you check out what it's done the last 6 months, that'll be the last thing you gift away. But lane 3 is our expansion team model, right? So you hear expansion teams all the time. The problem is that there's no money in it, right? Either it's at the expense of the team member or at the expense of the team leader, because you have all these different hands in the pockets. We have a very pure and honest and clean system here. It's very simple. You invite somebody to this call, they understand the model, you support them, answer their questions, and you guys do business together forever, and you get paid a very small portion of their commission, and they have the exact same opportunity. So it's at the expense of nobody but EXP's bottom line. And because we've streamlined all of our expenses down, just like Amazon and Netflix has, we are able to take 50% of the gross revenue and recycle it back to the agents that want to grow. This is an opt-in if you want. There's no cost to opt in. You can never bring an agent over ever in your life. The average EXP agent brings over 1.5, 2 agents to the business a year, which is what we're probably doing at our older antiquated firms anyway. Someone says, hey, do you like this company? I say, I don't know. I guess so. It's great. They go in there, meet the broker of record, join up, and now you got a friend in the office, right? Well, here we get paid on that. So that is lane 3. That's the lane that you can build residual income and then retire and not retire from making income, right? If I retire from selling real estate, my income goes from 100% of what I was making to 25% referrals, right? Here, I've been able to go from a company of 3 agents to now 1,000 of us and be able to retire in my 40s versus my 80s, which was my prior plan. Okay, so we're going to talk to you a little bit about all three of these. If we get into the agent attraction part and you get turned off, just hang tight for 8 minutes. Go get a cup of coffee. Come on back because we're going to close it up with more stuff of how we sell real estate at a higher level. Okay, when people look at EXP, they want to know, what do? We sell more real estate than every other company except for two. We are the third biggest real estate company in the country. And with our growth, right now we're averaging 1,000 agents a week. We will be the #1 real estate company in the world, and publicly traded, we are the biggest real estate company. We're bigger than Realogy, which owns Better Homes and Gardens, Sotheby's, Coldwell Banker. We're bigger than RE/MAX. We trade at a higher price than RE/MAX. I ran the second biggest team for RE/MAX in the state of North Carolina. I never thought I'd see the day that we did that. 3 years ago when we came over here, there was 3,800 agents. Now there's 34,000. So it's mind-numbing. So we're going to kind of talk to you about why people are coming over here and not spend so much time on why we came over here. I think it's evident. So let's get right into it. So this dapper gentleman on the right is Glenn Sanford. Glenn was a stockbroker, and he did a couple startup businesses. And in 2002, he landed dab square in the middle of real estate sales. And because he's a tech guy and his prowess for the internet immersion model back early on, before most of us even had professional websites built at the cost of 10 grand a pop, he was out there getting clients through the internet back in 2002. They got a BlackBerry back then, or a pager, can't remember. Anyway, in 2002, he started to connect with clients, and within 4 years of being at Keller Williams, he was doing $60 million a year. And he went and brought this idea up the flagpole that, you know, he's out there getting all the business and then giving a big portion of his commission back to the broker. And he felt like there was a disproportional value between the agent and the owner. So he figured if we can create a cloud-based brokerage, we can lessen expenses and give the agents more, since they're doing, you know, the majority or all the work. Let's just be honest, right? So Glenn brought this up the flagpole. They said, that's a great idea, go do it. So he said, okay. So in 2009, out of Bellingham, Washington, he started the first cloud-based real estate brokerage called EXP Realty. And since that happened, it's been a jam-packed timeline of events. So I'll go through this very fast because you can read this on your own. But founded in 2009, we opened up 11 states in our first year. How do you open up 11 states? Well, we don't have any boundary lines. We don't have any franchises. We're not a franchise model. Franchise model just means that there's a layer in the sandwich that has their hands in a pot, right, to operate. We're one brokerage owned by the agents. And because we're cloud-based, we could get into states much faster because they had internet and we had a cloud office. So we opened up 11 states in 2010. In 2011, Swampole recognized us as an up-and-coming real estate company. They're kind of the industry standard, them and Inman, on what's going on in the real estate industry. In 2012, founder and CEO Glenn was recognized as one of the top 100 most influential people in real estate. So 3 years into this beta program, people had him on the radar. In 2013, we went public. So all the agents that came over from 2009 to 2013 started getting shares, and then every agent from 2013 to tomorrow or forever. We have so many millions of shares available here, but we're all shareholders at this company. So when you join EXP, you become a shareholder and you get shares of stock that Tom will explain exactly how you get them. We've been able to amass them every single time we have a transaction, and then on milestones as well. Okay. In addition to that, our stock ticker is called EXPI. We were traded on the OTC in 2013, private, publicly traded, but not on the NASDAQ or the Dow or anything like that. So mostly real estate agents that worked at EXP were trading it, right? And a few industry people that were watching the stock, but the basic public didn't know about us. In 2014, we launched into Canada, in which now we are in every province of Canada. In 2015, we implemented 2 programs at EXP that were differentiators from any other company. I think it was the biggest game changer we could do because both programs were solely focused on agent health, financial health. One, we had the agent equity program that we launched where you can buy the stock with 5% of your commissions at a 10% discount. And going from $2.87 a share when I came over 3 years ago to $43 a share that is trading this morning, this has been able for me to accrue stock at a discount that is skyrocketed and frankly has changed the trajectory of our lives in every way and the lives of all other EXP agents. I was on the phone about 3 or 4 months ago with an agent in Texas that came over in 2009 or 10. And the stock was, I think, at 10 cents a share. And she became a millionaire just by earning stock doing what she always did. Really cool. Never brought an agent over to EXP, just collected the stock instead of the trophies and certificates, right? So, well, we do give trophies too, and we give them to you if you're an icon agent. And the icon agent is for the high achievers. It's about 1 to 1.5% of our agents. We have 34,000 agents right now. We have a few on this phone call that are icon agents. And they sell at such an intense level that EXP gives them all of their commission back. And we're going to show you exactly how you can achieve that. So they give you all the commission back in stock. And those are the people that we see that are amassing large amounts of stock at EXP because they get all the commission that they paid in the whole year earned back, and they do it consecutively. So our cap is $16,000, which means that you never pay in more than $16,000 on your commission. If you're on a team, it could be $8,000 or $4,000. We have team setups. So a lot of these agents are getting $16,000 of stock every single year. So 10 years of that at $160,000. When that lady was getting it at 10 cents a share and it's trading at $43, I don't have to draw this out how she became a multimillionaire by being at the right company when you sell real estate at a company that you own. In 2016, we were at like just over 500 agents. You believe that? 2020, we're at 34,000 agents. We are the fastest growing real estate company in the history of the industry, and not just in the United States, but also in the UK. We broke 100 estate agents in the UK, and we started in January of this year. It took Keller Williams 6 years to get 120 estate agents. They are very nervous by our growth in the UK. It's already starting to manifest with rumors and spin zones and a lot of stuff that we have dealt with here in the United States as we've grown, right? So being a target is a compliment. It's a blessing. I'm glad people are looking at us, right? So in 2017, kind of a boring year. We just grew exponentially. But 2018, 3 more things happened. We became the best place to work for Glassdoor in 18, 19, and 20. We joined the NASDAQ and we were in Times Square ringing the bell. We opened up in all 50 states. So we graduated to being actually in more MLSs than any other company in the country. We are geographically the biggest real estate company in the United States. And then now that Glenn Sanford just bought Showcase, we have access to every MLS. That is something that's going to allow us to combat Zillow, which is the giant elephant in the room that people keep supporting by buying leads off. So we're not worried about other real estate brokerages. We know that we're going to outpace them. We're worried about fighting Zillow, and we have the technology to do so. And then in 2018, Inman Innovator Award winner and broker owner, Glenn was recognized for this massive feat. Let's talk about agent growth really quickly. Even the screen that was updated a month ago is outdated. We're at 34,000 agents. We're growing 1,000 agents per month. We have the lowest level of agents leaving the company. Our retention rate is the top of the industry. We're at about 2.5% of agents leaving. The 2 companies that are in front of us and the thousands of companies behind us are dealing with double-digit attrition problems. So we are a company where once you make the agent owner, there's nowhere else to graduate to. So you can see our timeline, 2014, 15, 16, 17. I mean, we're at like less than 1,000 agents, pretty small company. And then a couple big names in the industry came over here. Gene Frederick sold his 6 Keller Williams franchise owners. Rob Flick, who is the Keller Williams history, 43rd biggest KW agent in history. I'm sure I'm butchering that number, but he was in that top hunt. And then Brent Gove and a couple of these other big agents started to come over here, and they brought a lot of credibility to our model. And iron sharpens iron. And then we had a whole nother wave of it, like every 3 to 6 months. And now the top agents in the country are EXP, and we're growing exponentially. So in 2018, we finished up about, roughly 6,500 agents. In 2019, we were at about 16,000 agents. 2020, we hit 25,000 agents roughly. By the end of this year, we are earmarked to be at about 42,000 agents. So we will pass Remax. So we have grown like no other company's ever grown because of 2 things. One, not only is it our company and we're not renting our careers anymore, right? We're constantly preaching to people, don't rent your apartment, don't rent a house and pay off someone else's mortgage. Meanwhile, we're working away our one life that we are guaranteed to have 80 hours a week, and we're renting our careers. We leave with our laptops. I left my last company with this, and a box of files. And I was escorted to the parking lot because they didn't want their top agent having a conversation with anybody, despite the fact that we were all best friends the day before. I mean, this business is broken. and we're going to unbreak it. And we're going to unbreak it by giving you ownership and by creating some core values that we're going to stick to. And if you don't fit in this core value setup, it's probably not a good company for you. It's not an application process where if you can fog a mirror, you're hired. You have to be invited by another agent. You go through an application process, and then you onboard over here. And if you're doing outrageous stuff, they let you go. This is a company that the face of this company is us. We don't have any human resources department for agents. We were invited by agents to agents, and the broker in charges monitor that. And we have many broker in charges, and they're live for you to talk to. And we use different systems that we're going to unpack here. So we have community. We are the first community of realtors that are not competitors. We're shareholders. We're partners. We collaborate. We share, we answer questions. We use our own Facebook created by Facebook called Workplace. We're their largest user. Mark Zuckerberg just said that he's going to have 50% of Facebook employees on Workplace. He needs Workplace because he doesn't have the cloud that we have. But we use Workplace for quick work chats and posting just like you do on Facebook. Same interface, no learning curve for us adults in the room. And you are able to collaborate with other agents and show what works for you. We have the best icon agents as all of our teachers in the cloud. So we don't have the person that loves teaching and sells 4 houses a year. You're not learning off that person, because most of us want to learn on how to sell more than 4 houses a year. So we have the top agents in the country. We have fun. My avatar is 10 pounds less, has less gray hair, is better dressed. I did shave a couple days ago, so I'm not going to make that joke. But our interactive, immersive digital world, which we're going to show you, is fun. The UK guys got very lucky, and I mean ultra lucky, and beat us in a soccer match or a football match. Agility. We're a company that has removed the $40,000 leases, the 7 employees sitting there looking at Facebook all day on the clock, the power bills, the people stealing paper at 7 at night, the lease printer. All that stuff is gone. Everything is virtual. It's all green here. We don't need a single drop of paper, right? Innovation. I'm not even going to cover that. You're going to see that firsthand. Integrity. Do the right thing. This company is about the top agents in the company bringing on other top agents and developing other agents to become better. Okay, so we bring over new agents. We had a moratorium on new agents in North Carolina when we first started. And now we have mentors assigned to help you go through your first 3 transactions from A to Z. You have a sponsor in this company that invited you to this call, and they're going to help you with your career forever. So you got a lot of free coaching. And then you have the people that came over before them, all wrapping around you. The village raises the child at this company, right? And we're all children at this business, in this business on day one. So whether you're experienced and you're burnt out, we're going to show you the ancillary income. And if you're brand new, you're going to get the best education for free at the time that you want it, built by the top agents in the country, the top 1% performers. Service. So I don't know how you guys are, but I want everything yesterday. Well, EXP from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. On the Eastern Seaboard, which is going to be 24/7, because now we have Australia and the UK and the 5 other countries that we launched last month. I'll get into that in a minute. We have live service. So if I have a problem with my MacBook, right, I go into the IT with my avatar. He hijacks my computer, fixes it, 0 bill, fixed right there on the spot. All of our IT. If I have a problem with my payment services and I want my check wired into my account at a closing that's out of state that I'm not going to be at, I want it that day. They send me a closing disclosure agreement. I review it. They send it to the paralegal. They wire into my account before EXP even gets their check. I have a broker question. I go live into the broker's room with my avatar. They sit in their avatar, answer it live. I have an onboarding situation where I have an agent onboarding and I have a question. I go in there live with the other agent. We have guest passes, so you can share these with people that are looking at this technology for the first time. Everything is immediate. Sustainability. Would you rather go into the next recession with all the bloated expenses that all these antiquated companies have, or would you rather go in there like EXP? 0 debt, agent owned, cloud built, work from anywhere. For people that say, hey, I need an office to work from, don't worry, we have you covered. We have 3,000 Regus executive suites throughout the world. I have 3 of them within 15 minutes of where Tom and I live here that you can go use their executive lounge for free. We made a deal with them years ago. In addition, you can have your own brick and mortar office. We have our own. We're on my porch today just because the internet is out there. So no big deal. Our office is still here. It's a click away. And if you think that you can't work from home, if COVID hasn't changed your mind on that, just think about the last time you were on vacation. Everybody's at the beach. You're hanging out doing business on your cell phone. It follows you everywhere. Now you have your entire cloud office to take with you. Collaboration. We're all shareholders in transparency. Type in the stock. You can see what our financials are and what our profits are. Okay, so let's get into a little bit kind of how the world is working, right? So Netflix had the ability to buy Blockbuster for a penny. I mean, for what Netflix is worth, it was a penny. Blockbuster said, we don't need you, and they went straight to bankruptcy and out of business. They didn't have any vision. And a lot of these brokerages that we've all worked for, including ourselves that have had our own brokerages, EXP was initially built for brokerage owners to scale and compound and have technology they couldn't afford to generate on their own. And then mega teams and top agents and new agents and old and young agents all started to flood here because we had this ownership piece and we had all of these cool tools to help us sell more real estate and gain our time back, right? Well, we were able to do all of that because of our cloud immersion, like Netflix, or like Amazon that put Circuit City and Sears and Toys R Us and Walmart on their heels, if not totally knocked out. I mean, Amazon has disrupted commercial real estate. It's disrupted everything. There's an Amazon van in front of my house all day long. If I walked out here live right now, I find an Amazon truck on our street. I mean, all you see is boxes in front of doorways. Unbelievable, right? If I ordered fish and they came live in 2 hours to my house off Amazon. So this kind of technology and explosive way of doing business is what we're using already. I mean, I don't know how many of you guys are calling a yellow cab, but I hate yellow cabs. Air conditioning's broken, got a big old like prison glass between the driver. I have to talk to a dispatcher. It takes 20 minutes to show up. It's expensive, right? I don't like showing up in yellow cabs. No, I just go on Uber and they're there in like 3 minutes. I paid on my phone. I never talked to a dispatcher. The drivers seem to be way more interesting, at least in my experience, right? Or I don't know how many of you guys are going to travel agents, right? I mean, who's going to a travel agent and sitting in the lobby for 15 minutes and then having someone book a trip for them that takes 2 hours? I go on like Expedia and I get my flight, I get my room, I get my rental car in like 4 minutes. It's cheaper than if I would have gotten all three. So, you know, the way that we're working is radically different. I do all my banking online. Most of you guys that are single are doing your dating online, right? So if we're swiping and clicking for every single thing in our lives, why is it such an unbelievable task to sell real estate online? Well, it's not. By doing that, you remove the costly overhead. You're not locally confined. So if I was going to start my own company, if Tom and I were talking about this because we came over at the same time, if we were going to start our own company, we would have to start out, you know, the Hocker Tomasini group, right? Like Keller Williams, right? I mean, 2 last names, Hocker Tomasini Real Estate. And now the best 2 technicians in this town are out there selling real estate and then hustling at night moonlighting, trying to bring agents over. And our talent pool is this small because we live in Mooresville, North Carolina, small town. So we get the 10 best agents. We're able to get 3 of them over, which we had to give away the entire farm. They have no technology. They don't have any real tools that we are able to provide them because that costs hundreds of millions of dollars to do it the way that we've done it. And then we start selling real estate in our lone little local market, and we have to compete with all these big box brands. It's like a small mom and pop builder having to compete with D.R. Horton. It's too hard. What we did instead is we plugged into EXP, and we didn't lose the entrepreneurial part. We were able to actually grow anywhere we wanted in the entire world. We have 12 countries open at EXP. I've got 100 estate agents in the UK. I've got agents in Australia. I've got agents in 32 states in this country. I've got 1,000 agents that have compounded and grown because the exact opportunity that was given to me is given to you, and we work together to build this company. And that kind of organic growth is why EXP has broken every record there is. It took not Caldwell Banker. Is it Caldwell Banker 68 years? It was Caldwell Banker. It took Caldwell Banker 68 years to hit 10,000 agents. Keller Williams was like the Usain Bolt of real estate, and they did it in 18 years. Everybody thought, my God, that is unbelievable, myself included, right? EXP did it in 7.5, like nothing, let alone 20,000 agents, 30,000 agents, now 40,000 agents. I mean, nobody can keep up with this pace because the agents have opportunity here. We don't have to deal with limited technology and support. We have cloud campus environment, work from anywhere, live training, between 50 and 100 hours a week of live training by the top 1% of the agents in the country. Unbelievable. We have our own UK building, our own Australia building, our own South Africa buildings being created, right? Real-time support. That's going to be 24/7. International collaboration. And lastly, Tom will talk about powerful equity ownership. So the cloud campus changes the way that we operate. The live training gets emailed every Sunday night, and you can earmark the classes that you want. They're much more robust than any other form. We have the best education that's ever existed in real estate, taught by the best agents, and it's free. You don't have to pay for any of this stuff, right? You don't have to be confined to when you watch it. Again, the international collaboration is pretty exciting because we had just the United States, all 50 states, all of Canada, the UK, which is 4 countries, and then Australia. And then last month, we opened up France, Portugal, Mexico, South Africa, and India. Crazy. I think we have 2 more countries we're opening at the end of this year. We are going to open up, on track to open up 10 new countries a year. This company is growing internationally like no other company can, because the cloud office removes all of the expenses and limitations of other companies. So I'm going to turn it over to the very charming Tom Hocker, and we're going to talk about lane 2.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Well, Rich touched on where we came from and where we're going and some of the technology and training that we have at EXP. What I want to touch on is our lane 2 and our lane 3 here, out of the 3 lanes that Rich was mentioning. The next lane, lane 2, is our equity opportunities. It's pretty cool. I was with companies, and I was the #1 agent within those companies, and all I ever got was a certificate or a trophy. Well, that was great. All I ever did with that stuff was put it in a box and put it in the bottom of my closet. Never saw the light of day again with that stuff. Here, we are still getting that stuff, yet we're getting stock with the company too. Stock that is traded on a NASDAQ. In 2018, only 50 companies in the world were able to uplist to the NASDAQ. EXP was one of them. Pretty nice, right? So here's how it works. We have 5 ways to create stock for ourselves. The first is on our first transaction every year. The first transaction every year, we get $200 worth of stock gifted to us by EXP. Pretty nice. I would take $200 over a certificate or a trophy any day of the week, right? The second way we can earn it is when we cap. Capping here at EXP is 16,000 company dollars. So we're on an 80-20 split. Once the company earns $16,000 off of us, we go to 100% commission. So at that point, when we achieve that, EXP then gives us another $400 worth of stock. All right, now it's starting to grow. I see that. That's pretty cool. When we sponsor an agent, let's say I brought over Rich. Rich is the most tenured person on this call right now, and I think I'm probably the second most tenured here at EXP on this call. So if I sponsored Rich and Rich came over and had his first transaction, not only would Rich receive $200 worth of stock, guess what? I get $400 worth of stock. Why? Because EXP recognized that I brought over Rich, and they are rewarding me with stock just as they're rewarding Rich for his first transaction. All right, I love that. Now here's something for all you big agents out there. It's called the Icon Award Agent. If you cap with EXP, like I just mentioned, you're on an 80-20 split. If you cap and a company makes $16,000 off of you, and then you do another 20 transactions, and let me clarify that. A transaction could be a sale, a lease, a referral, any one of those 3. It doesn't have to just be a sale. If you do another 20 transactions, EXP will recognize that and give you the $16,000 you paid in at the 80-20 split. They will give it back to you in a form of EXPI stock. And as Rich mentioned, back in 2010, 2011, when the stock was trading at 10, 40 cents a share, 50 cents a share, those people, just from that Icon Award Agent program alone, they are instant millionaires. It blows my mind. Now, think of another thing here too. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, all these guys who are multi millionaires and so billionaires and wealthy beyond belief. They didn't get that way because their yearly salary. They got it that way because the stock in the company. They were able to get stock in a company that was growing. And all of a sudden, when this company exploded, they were millionaires and billionaires overnight. We have potentially the same opportunities they did. All right. We're just doing it in our own field in real estate. So Glenn gave us a tremendous opportunity here, and we're watching people become very, very wealthy in the last few months through the stock. And I'm not a predictor of future earnings, but I really think the stock is just going to keep going up and up. So on all those plans right there, the Sustainable Equity Plan and the Agent Icon Award, there is a 3-year vesting period. And what's cool about that is when I was first here and I got the stock, I started getting it at about $2.87. It started going up. When it hit $6 and $7, I really thought about selling it. I thought then was the time to sell. But then I realized I couldn't sell because there was a 3-year vesting period. And thank God for that 3-year vesting period, because look at it now. Now it's at $43 a share, and I would have sold it at $7. So it's a blessing in disguise to have that vesting period. And it's something that we should all really engage in and grasp. The last way to earn stock in this company here is an agent equity program. This is the 5th way to earn stock. Now, in this program, you can take 5% of every transaction. Now, this is totally voluntary. You do not have to do it. You can do it on some transactions, but you do not have to do it all. You can get 5% of each transaction, and you can advise EXP to purchase stock for you. But if they do, that you are then going to get it at a 10% discount. So in round numbers, if it's a $10,000 transaction commission, you're going to get $500. You're going to advise EXP to take $500 of it and purchase it at a 10% discount. So that's pretty cool. You're not really going to miss 5% of your commissions. So that's how we are all building up our stock portfolio, and again, our second stream of income here at EXP. So it's something that if you didn't take advantage in, I think you'd probably be a little crazy. So we also here have something called the Agent Advisory Council. And the Agent Advisory Council, basically what it does is we got the board of directors that consists of Glenn Sanford, Randy Miles, Jason Gessing, Gene Frederick, and some other brilliant people. But what EXP really did that I thought was phenomenal was they took it down from that 30,000-foot view and brought it down to us agents on the street. All right. Now it's made up of 12 rotating agents. Okay. And those agents then go back to the board of directors and let the board of directors, what's going on? Let them know what's going on the streets. What are the agents thinking? What are they saying? What are we feeling? Where can we make this company better? So these 12 agents give the feedback for all us 34,000 agents to the board of directors, and the board of directors listens. They really listen, guys, and they make changes. And changes here at this company happen very quickly because we are a cloud-based company. It's not something that has to go out to every single franchise. Changes in this company can be done at the click of a button. It's phenomenal. So the agent voice in the company, the Agent Advisory Council, really gives us agents a voice with all the board of directors and let them know what needs to be done and changed. And they are listening, guys. I promise you that. So the last thing that I want to touch base on here for my portion is the revenue share plan. All right. It's our expansion team model. This plan is our third stream of income, and it's completely voluntary. Unlike the stock that you're going to get just for being a part of EXP, this is completely voluntary, and you can do it if you'd like, and if not, you don't have to. And let me start by saying this. The average person in EXP brings over 1.5 agents per year, all right? So we're not a real agent attraction company like people say we are. We are selling a lot of real estate, and we are just attracting the best of the best. So I'm going to explain how this works, and if you could just kind of bear with me, because it's the most difficult slide to understand and explain here. But if you can bear with me, and if you have any questions, you can always circle back at the end of this presentation and ask whatever you need. So what EXP is saying now is we are going to grow this company organically through word of mouth. You are not going to see any brick and mortar offices that are EXP offices. You're not going to see a Remax balloon. You're not going to see a commercial, nothing like that. We are going to grow, and we are the fastest growing real estate company in history because of the model, guys, not because of the commercials out there and all the other advertising. It's because of this model and people talking organically about it. So let's just, for argument's sake, say I brought over Rich Tomasini to the company. Rich is going to come over at an 80-20 split like we all do. And Rich is going to start selling houses, and at a high level. Now, every time Rich has a closing, EXP is going to pay him 80%, and EXP is going to take 20%, right? Out of EXP's 20%, they are now going to give me a 3.5% referral off of the gross commission of Rich's check. So again, let's use round numbers. If Rich has a $10,000 commission, he is going to get $8,000. EXP is going to get $2,000. Out of EXP's $2,000, they are going to give me a $350 revenue share referral out of their money for Rich's production. Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that. It's off the gross commission, not off the profit after all the expenses are taken out. It's off the gross commission. I see that and I say, wow, that's pretty cool. Think of something. Warren Buffett, one of the geniuses of our time and best businessmen of our time, always said, I would rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts than 100% of my own. And this is exactly what we're doing, guys. EXP is giving us we're getting 1% or whatever the percentage is of other people's efforts here. And I'm going to explain how this looks after I go through this chart. So I'm going to get 3.5% off of all Rich's production up to $2,800, because at $2,800, that means Rich basically just hit 100% cap. And once he goes to 100%, EXP doesn't have any more money to share with us. So that's all right. I'm going to make $2,800 off of Rich. It's not going to change my life technically, but it can change Rich's life. And if I do it, if I have enough Riches, it will change my life. And I'll show you again how that works. So now Rich brings over, let's say, Keely Tays. Keely comes on board. She's Rich's level 1. So Rich will make 3.5% off of her production. And Keely is a very high producer. So now, though, Keely's my level 2. So I'm going to make 4% off of Keely's production. Wow. Now Rich is getting $350 off of that $10,000 commission, but I'm getting $400. I like it. So I'm going to keep making 4% off of Keely's production until she caps out, which is about $3,200 to me. All right. Pretty cool. And now you can see how this would start adding up. Now that's only 2 levels. This goes down 7 levels, guys. 7 levels. And while I knew Rich, because I brought him on board, and I might have known Keely, anybody that Keely brings on and that person brings on and so on and so forth, all the way down to level 7, I'm not going to know those people. But yet I'm still going to make a referral off of all of them on different increments, okay? So this is pretty neat. So basically what EXP was doing, or is doing, is the $16,000 that you pay into EXP, they are now taking that $16,000 and they're willing to break it up into bite-sized chunks and spread it over 7 levels and give everybody 7 levels down a piece of that $16,000. And that's how we are growing the company organically. EXP is growing in leaps and bounds. About 2,000 agents per month is what we're doing. Okay, so one thing that EXP did is they put in a kicker. All right, because they're not stupid either. The company has to remain sustainable. So in order to bring over a level 1, somebody like Rich, I can do that as much as I want. I could bring over as many people as I want, and I am. All right, but to unlock level 2, to unlock the money that I get from Keely, because Rich brought her over, I have to personally introduce 5 people to this company. I mean, I have to personally introduce 5 people to this company to unlock level 2. And then I have to get to 10 to unlock level 3, 15 for 4, 20 for 5, 25 for 6, and 40 people. If I can personally bring over 40 people to this company, that unlocks this whole algorithm and I unlock all of my money. Because what happens is if I get to tier 4 that I'm getting paid on, but I only personally bring over 10 people, the money that I would be getting on tier 4 stays with EXP. So that keeps me incentivized to get to 15 people to unlock that money. So right now, I just want to touch on a little bit about myself and what I've done. So I've personally brought over 15 people, I'm sorry, to this company right now. All right. Those 15 people brought over 42 people. Those 42 people brought over 55 people on my level 3, and so on and so forth. Whereas now I have 143 people in my organization that I am getting paid on, yet I've only personally introduced 15 people to the company. So those 15 people brought on another 128 and is helping me grow and make a nice sustainable revenue share that is paid out on the 22nd of each month. That revenue share for me last month was $10,762. So far this month, I'm at about $5,000. So for the year, I think I will break $100,000 in that, not to mention the stock that I got. I got 5,000 shares of stock that at today's price, $45 or $43, it's somewhere around $215,000 worth of stock for being with this company for less than 3 years. Think about that. With any other company, we are only as good as we do in our commission and our sales and whatever that deal is that we cut with the owner of that company. Here at EXP, we're getting stock and we are getting a revenue share plan if you choose it, and we are making a lot more money, and we are able to get out of selling real estate at some point. We finally have a retirement here at EXP, and if you want to take advantage of it, you have every right to. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw it back to Rich, and he's going to circle back and touch on everything else.
All right. Poor Tom had the hard part there. Thanks, buddy. So, okay. So let's talk about lane 1. This is why we all came on this phone call. to talk about what we know, right? What's been offered before at other companies, but in a different light and more robust here at EXP. We have a cloud campus. That means that every single thing that you need for the back end of your business is right there, a click away in the cloud. We have real-time support, specialized departments, daily training, information sharing, team collaboration, large-scale meetings, which Stanford University is using to teach other college kids during COVID. Microsoft is in debates right now with the company Virabella that created our cloud campus, which we own. We bought them for $10 million last year. So our stock has gone from $7 to $9 a share pre-COVID to $43. I think it was at 45 yesterday. It's already at 44 today since we started the call. Bumped up a buck. But anyway, we own that technology, and that's how we're able to collaborate without losing our culture in the cloud. We actually have our own office spaces. We have a building called Impact Group, and we have 36 private office spaces with, you know, your name on the top. I think it's $100 a year. That's what it costs for that office space there. So work anywhere, anytime. I'd click this video, but I don't think you have the attention span. Plus we're narrowing down here. So let's talk about the actual components of EXP that separate us. Not only do we have our own iBuyer system, I just got the email yesterday to where now when I go to listing appointments, I can bring an actual offer with me, like these other companies that have come over and kind of disrupt the market. We have a pool of investors that you submit your property to. If it fits within the criteria, we bring an offer at the listing presentation. So it's hard to beat me on a listing presentation. One, I've been doing this for a long time and I think I've honed my skills, but number two, I actually have an offer for your house right there with me. And if I look at that offer and I think we can do better, like right now in Charlotte, we're like in multiple offer situations. So if it's not over market value, we can do better, right? Or over what market value was deemed by an appraiser, we can do better. So at that point, I could say, hey, listen, if you don't want to take your 3 Huskies into the car and drive away for 2 hours while people are showing your house, you could take this offer in hand, or we can go into the open market and try to extract the highest offer we can. Okay. Also, over a quarter of agents don't have health insurance. Crazy, right? I mean, our average 67% of this business is all women, and our average aged agent is 58 years old. Why is that? I mean, it's because there's no retirement plan. We are the retirement plan, and try saving money for retirement in 2007, 8, 9, 10, right? Forget, I did 104 short sales in 2009 and 10. There was no saving retirement. There was saving ourselves, right? So if the average agent is 58%, is 58 years old, and a quarter of those people don't have health insurance, I mean, we have a crisis here. So we have our own health savings account. I decided to experiment on myself so I could speak about it positively or negatively. I would give you either direction. And we had Blue Cross Blue Shield prior to coming over in January. And there was 3 different programs that we had. We chose the middle one, so not the cheapest and not the most expensive. And we dropped our Blue Cross Blue Shield at $14.50 a month down to $8.55 a month. And we kept all of our doctors, and our total deductible is $12,500 for a family of 4. So our deductible is about a third what we were paying. It's been a very, very good experience for us. Also, you can change from either of the 3 options at any time in the year, so you don't have to wait for your beginning enrollment either. So let's talk about the 3-lane highway. What do we need when we're going on a long journey from a 3-way highway, especially in lane 1? We need a car. And we have an instrument panel, and the car is EXP, and the instrument panel is EXP Enterprise. And this shows us all of our gauges of how we're doing. And it gives us our sky slope, which is our transaction management system, and our digital signatures. It gives us KV Core, which used to be called conversion. It's one of the only things that we have that's not proprietary. But KV Core is how you sell 400 houses a year versus 40. And we have that for free at EXP. That would cost you between $600 and $800 a month and $1,500 to install if you're not with EXP. We have Workplace, which we are the largest user of, which is our Facebook to interact with our broker in charges, our leadership, each other, everybody. And then we have our own branding and marketing department that has all of that laid out for you. What's so good about EXP, and one of the main reasons why I came over here, is I didn't have to trade autonomy for a company. I didn't have to give away my logo, my brand, my niche of doing business to go support another company. When I see RE/MAX signs, I know they're red, white, and blue. When I see Gary Keller, his name on my signs, I'm not as excited because it's always bigger than my name, right? So we have all of these different brokerages that are branding themselves and teaching their agents to brand them instead of brand ourselves. In 2020, people are being taught that, right? Not here. Here you brand yourself. And if you don't have a brand, you can use the EXP logo and make it as big as you want. But it's about you, because you're the one that gets hired. You're the one that gets the business. And at EXP, we didn't have to trade in our autonomy. And that's why we have the franchise owners from Columbia that Tom brought over from KW come over here and join EXP. And the Remax franchise owners that Marcus brought over from Fort Mill, and huge independent firms like Karen Head, who is the dominant force in Winston-Salem, and David Upchurch, who's the dominant force in Waxhaw, right? We have Rummy, who's a dominant force in Yonkers, right? We have these huge companies that created their own brand that didn't have to forfeit that to get the technology and to give their teams a better future. I mean, for these companies that came over and plugged into EXP, there was a cost for them, and they decided to pay that cost because there was now no longer an expense for their team members to be on their team. They can have everything that the team owner has. They get stock. They can have all the tools. They can do all the branding, all of that available, plus what the team already brings you. So let's get into these systems here in a little bit more detail. EXP Enterprise, when I click on this, it has a dashboard that shows you kind of my vitals on all of my business. It has my profile, which other agents on Workplace see. So if someone has a client looking for a property in Charlotte and they see my profile and they see Alexis's profile and they like Alexis better because her profile might have been better, they reach out to her, she gets the referral, and she did a few $1 million of business that way that last year, right? So make your profile good, make it a standout. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but I'm gonna go real quick. I was looking at profiles for EXP agents in Wisconsin, and so many people gave away that they're not full-time realtors in the first 2 sentences, and they've pretty much eradicated their chance of getting a referral. Don't do that, okay? Like, we want confidence, and in the first paragraph, we have to have the impression that you're serious about this business and it comes first, okay? But we have our own profiles, we have our own finance. I can see how many shares of stock that was given to me. When I click on ShareWorks, which is managed by Morgan Stanley, it shows me what my stock portfolio has on there, what the vesting period is. So what I just had 175 shares vest out this week and get transferred into my Ameritrade account. Very cool, right? We have all of our revenue share. So this last month, I had 432 transactions that I got paid a portion of the revenue share, as Tom explained on, which allowed me to have no closings last month and not be at all concerned about that. Very cool feature here, right? All of that is transparently set up. It shows me out of my 1,000 agents that almost half of the agents had a transaction last month, and that was their commission, and that's what I got, and it added it all up to me, and it was wired into my account on the 22nd. Very cool. If you haven't figured this out yet, the 22nd of the month is your new favorite day of the month. That's when the revenue share comes in, unless it's a holiday weekend, and they'll give it to you the 19th, not ever later. So EXP Enterprise shows you all your vitals. You need an agent in Hawaii, go on the agent directory on there, look at all the agents, make your choice. All there for you at your time. Sky Slope Management. It's a lot like Dotloop. If you're addicted to Dotloop and you hate change, you can just bring Dotloop over here and pay the difference. It's not very expensive. But Sky Slope is the same exact thing. It has our digital signatures. It's got security measures in there. You can do anything that you want mobily through Sky Slope. And we have training classes in the cloud to teach all of these systems that we're talking about. So Workplace, right? When I go on Facebook, I see that somebody hates Joe Biden or somebody hates Donald Trump. I see that people are talking about sex and religion and all these other topics that are designed for us to disagree on. And I get frustrated and I log out and then I go back to work, right? Well, when I look at my Facebook for Workplace, it's not like that. We actually make money here. So I see somebody's digital presentation that I can send them a work chat on and say, hey man, can I have that? Can I use that? And they're like, yeah, I'm in Minnesota. Go ahead, knock yourself out, right? Or if I see on Workplace, somebody's got a referral coming into Mooresville, North Carolina, I respond immediately and start building a relationship and get the referral. And then I can live stream and say, hey, listen, here, I'm with my client, which is your client, and we're looking at this house. What do you think? Put in the comments what you think about this new house they're buying from. Thanks so much for selling their house in Kansas, right? So we have the ability to use this Workplace in a very interactive way, just like we use Facebook. And then our CRM and lead generation is radically different than anything else. So not only does it have AI, which we've all been hearing about, and predictive behavior. So when the client changes something on your free website that it gives you, you're able to see that immediately. And then the CRM called KV Core, our lead generation model that we have, alters their search to what they're actually searching for and not what they're telling you they're searching for. So it's very intuitive with that predictive behavior. But it also links you to their social media, so you're not getting Mickey Mouse emails. And it also manages all the clients that you put in there while you're busy with other clients, showing houses, going to listings. This is the co-pilot that stops the plane from going into the Atlantic when you're on an international flight, right? So if you don't have a CRM, I hate to tell you, but you're going to reinvent the wheel every single year, and you're going to have up years and down years. It's the only way. If you have a CRM and you have a system that generates leads within the network sphere as it grows, you will never go out and hunt for business again. I hunted for business my first year. I took 72 listings my first month, prospecting on the cell phone at Remax. And I was an old man 30 days into this business. And if I would have had a CRM on day one, I would have retired in 6 months just answering the phone and knocking clients out. Easy, simple. You have this, I have this, finding them a house, making sure it's the right property, negotiating real tight. I used to be an appraiser. I'm teaching a class for everybody on this thing on my social media. It's free, right? It's not even EXP. I didn't put EXP in there at all. Just how to evaluate real estate, dealing with the personality types, negotiating through the sale, leveraging for your client, ensuring the fiduciary responsibility that you have to them builds the trust, and then having them refer business out, right? Well, we were doing that. But if I had a contact manager, it could have been dripping text messages and emails and showing me when their activity is at a high level searching for real estate on my website. It would have kept them on our website. All cool stuff, all here at EXP with infinite training on there. Business cards, brochures, hats, coffee cups, any merchandise you can imagine, 5,000 templates for flyers, letterheads, door hangers, everything you can imagine, already built in social media memes. I mean, we're talking about anything, all built in there for you to put your face, your phone number, your logo, your brand, and put out to the outside world. All your marketing is top notch and done. Commercial, luxury, residential, everything. We are actually bringing over a huge commercial announcement this month, which will have a component of getting LoopNet and CoStar combined at a discount for our EXP agents. It's going through a major overhaul. We launched commercial last year, and outside of a logo and a couple nice font prints, we brought over some commercial agents, and we got their feedback, and we know what we had to do, so we went out and did it, and we're releasing that here shortly. Very, very important. I have commercial agents on our team. My commercial agent that I brought over has done more deals than ever before because of our residential agents using him because he's with EXP. There are so many ancillary benefits of being at EXP. We have preferred partners. I'm not going to waste any time on this. Everybody's talking about us. I think we covered that enough. Let's just get right into what it costs to be at EXP since we're closing in. So our commission caps are simple. We're at an 80-20 commission split until the 20% hits $16,000, which is a cap, and then you go to 100% commission. If you don't have a cap, that's like having car insurance and no deductible. So this call is going to be very, very a good money saver for you, right? You will never pay more than $16,000 into EXP on your cap. Everybody's treated equally. There are no special deals at this company. I sold $43 million of business in 2017. I got the same exact deal that an agent that sells $800,000 of business does. The only difference is I was able to cap in 3 or 4 weeks where that agent never capped. They don't have to cap. It's up to you, okay? Once you're at 100% commission, then only then, they implement a $250 transaction fee, and that happens 20 times. And a transaction is defined not just as a sale, but it's also a referral or a lease. We don't do property management. If you have property management, you can keep it your own LLC. We only do procurement on leases and referrals and transactions, okay? You get 3 personal deals free every year. So that $250 transaction fee happens 20 times, which equates to $5,000. Once you hit $5,000 paid in, that means you're an icon agent and they give you the 20% or the $16,000 that you paid in back in stock. Totally insane. You're retroactively working for 100%. Okay, and then the $250 transaction fee gets reduced to $75 for the rest of your transactions. Very cool feature there. Okay, so if you're an icon agent, you do 20 deals at 100% and you become an icon agent, or you have $500,000 of gross commission income and that catapults you into the icon without doing all those transactions. We have a $149 startup fee. It was going to cost me $250,000 to buy a franchise in a territory that kept failing, so they kept re-offering it to business owners, right? So it was $149 to start a real estate team of 1,000 agents, and I have no payroll. EXP is the broker in charge. EXP is the support system. I mean, it's it's unbelievably easy to be a brokerage owner of 1,000 agents, or it could be a nightmare to be the broker owner of 9 agents. Radically different setup. We have an $85 a month brokerage fee. So whether you're in Spain or you're selling real estate around the clock, it's $85 a month. We have a $25 per transaction broker review fee, and they blind audit your files, make sure that you're not missing signatures and initials, and make sure that you're not going to the commission over something silly that was able to be proofread and caught before it was an issue. And then we have a $40 E&O fee per file, and that caps at $500. So 6.5 deals into it, you don't have that $40 E&O transaction fee. Production matters, right? This is already a dated screen and our numbers have already changed, but top independent firm in the country. Second biggest mover as far as increase in closed sales from 18 to 19. Number 4 in closed volumes, number 3 in transaction sides. Top mover as far as largest increase in closed sides from 18 to 19. And the rest of them are not as important. Agent count, despite Keller Williams having 180,000 agents or 120,000 agents, there's different numbers out there. We were still number 5 in agent count. And this was back in 18, we probably only had 10,000 agents. So this is gonna probably be number 1 or number 2. And then sales volume ranked in 2019. The end of 2019, we finished out that year. 2020, we've had record quarters. Every single quarter has been a record quarter. This time, the last 2, we did $11 billion in the first quarter of this year in closed sales. So EXP is a radically different setup, all meant for us to grow here. So thank you so much for being so patient and deal with us for 56 minutes. We try to feed you through a fire hose, not a garden hose, because there's a lot to cover, and we didn't cover a lot. But at this point, if you guys have any questions, we do a Q&A where you can unmute your microphone and we can go back to some of the slides that we might have gone faster than you wanted us to and explain the model anywhere you want us to explain it. Congratulations, Lauren Rocco just became an Icon agent, Tom was telling me. So that means Laura just got $16,000 of EXP stock gifted back to her, which her older self, since she's so young, will thank her for in spades. So 10 years down the road, that might buy you a nice retirement condo on the Intracoastal. I'm very happy for you on that. All right, and we have other Icon agents on this call too. I don't want to start earmarking them because there's more than I can remember. So if anybody here is here for the first time, open up your mic if you have any questions.
Rich, I have a quick question. In regards to LoopNet and CoStar and the commercial side of things, we find that our commercial here in Calgary is really right and tight. It's a bunch of old guys and they do everything on paper. So if I had a 40-year-old woman who has tried doing commercial with the old guys and they stuck her in a corner, but she's also licensed to be residential, and I want her to come over because she's like a crazy cool person. What are some of the benefits that we could help her with, or I mean, aside from EXP as selling residential real estate? Can you give me a little bit more of a rundown as to this LoopNet? I don't do commercial. LoopNet,
okay,
CoStar.
Yeah, Kim, absolutely. So what's so cool about this company is that Kim likes someone's personality and character so much that she's going to hand choose who adds to the company. And that's been happening from 500 agents or from, frankly, day 1 to now. So we have a lot of people that get along here. The differences is LoopNet and CoStar are the 2 main conduits for commercial agents to share information like we use as an MLS. And they're expensive. And what happens is that commercial brokerages oftentimes will pay for that for the commercial agents because that's their sword and shield when they go into battle. We are working out a deal right now that is too early for me to commit to as far as details, but it's going to get launched. I'll learn about it the second that you guys do. It'll come through our workplace. It'll say big announcements and we'll all learn it together. Just like Glenn Sanford oftentimes will update the whole company on a live video through that. And what it does is it's going to get us a bulk deal on both of those websites. And then in addition to that, she's going to be able to link up with all the commercial agents that we have in the country, and they are going to be able to collaborate in ways that they do commercial business that's quite different. Like Kim, you're in Canada, and Tom and I are here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Our business runs totally different. I follow you and Doug, and I follow Allie, and then I follow Martin and Christian in Ottawa, and you guys do business differently. I don't understand your place exactly.
I have a gal who's probably going to be reaching out to you. She just moved from Calgary to Nova Scotia, and all of her clients, because she does retirement and recreational properties. All of her clients come from like the Carolinas North for those summer times when it gets really melting hot down south. Yeah. They have investment properties up in the Nova Scotia area. And so she contacted me. I met her a year and a half ago. And she called me yesterday. She says, okay, I'm ready. Let's do this. I want to be with EXP because I can relaunch my lifestyle magazine and attract the right agents to collaborate with within the United States. And I only want to work with buyers. I never want another listing for love nor money. So, just an older gal, and this is her retirement of being able to just show people amazing places.
Well, Kim, I'm glad you mentioned that because I missed two things on this presentation. One, so Kim and Doug are both with EXP. They're a married couple. They share one cap together. So they don't get penalized. They're treated as one entity. And then all the revenue share and stock is inheritable. So not only are you building your own path, but you're building future generations that are your family. You can will it out. So that's a very important thing. And the other thing is that, for example, like Kim's friend, she can still sell real estate in Canada and sell real estate in Nova Scotia and sell real estate in any of the states that she has licenses to state in the United States, and it all goes toward one cap. So like, for example, if Tom and I wanted to sell real estate in Virginia.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm in New York.
Tom's
So
in New York.
I still do transactions in New York as well as North Carolina, and everything goes towards the one cap, my $116,000 cap. So it's pretty nice to be able to have that throughout the country and anywhere we are in the world.
It's I have a client right now, or I have a gal that's coming over. She's been a personal friend for a long time. In fact, she will tell you when she started 14 years ago, she lived in the same neighborhood I farmed, and she actually started her business much the same way I do. I do my business, and so she's always kind of tracked me. And she's coming over because she's doing her winters in one city, her falls and springs here in Calgary, and then they are doing 4 months in Australia because her partner's from Australia, and she has a ton of real estate contacts in Australia. So for her, she's actually going to be able to be in 2 different countries with EXP working.
Perfect. Kim, I've got a bunch on the work chat. Let me do a couple of these too. No. We got, Lynn said, speak about multiple state licensing. I think I hit that. As long as if you're within the commission's guidelines of operating in that area, it all goes toward the same cap. You can sell real estate of all 50 states here, and it goes toward the same 16,000. Jamaica on the radar. Ms. Robinson, it is probably going to be on the radar because of you. We opened up the UK right from this house. I have a strategy, so Nakia and I will chat with you on that. Okay, Kim's Dion, yep, go ahead.
If you decide that you would leave, you are able to take your clients. Anybody that, any buyers you're working with or any listings, you are not penalized. Additionally, if you leave on the same split that you were on when you were there. So if it's either an 80-20 split or 100% commission. So that's how that works. So you are not held, you're not going to be penalized if you do decide you don't like it and leave. Yeah. And it's a $40 per transaction E&O insurance. And that caps out at 12.5 transactions, which is $500 per year.
So you'll never spend more than $500 on E&O insurance, Dion. Okay, anybody else have any other questions or comments or anything?
So Rich, I'm going to jump in on the commercial because Kim was talking about it.
Yeah.
Kim, I'm a newer agent, so I've only been licensed 3 years. And so when I got licensed, I wanted to do commercial, wanted to jump in. Nobody would teach me, even though I was at a firm that did commercial, right? It was very much like, no, you're an outsider. And even in our area, commercial tends to be a good old boy system for the most part. We have like 2 female agents that are kind of working their way up. But what I love about EXP, aside from this huge monumental thing with CoStar and LoopNet, like that is just amazing that that's happening, is that we do have training for commercial. We do have a large group of commercial agents that are so helpful. I've called people 8:30, 9 o'clock at night when I had a question because commercial is a whole different beast. And so I've really been able to branch out and get into commercial to a point where I actually felt like it was worth paying for LoopNet and CoStar on my own. And it's been mostly because of the agents at EXP that do commercial helping me and guiding me and mentoring me. So if your person wants to talk with someone that has the experience with EXP jumpstarting them, happy to talk with her.
Kim, Alexis is an icon agent too. She's in her 3rd year. She's going to do 20 million this year. If you guys don't think that you can launch as a new agent at EXP, find Alexis on Facebook and send her a message and expect that she'll get back to you in a week because she's busy. So give her a little time. But
Kevin Mullaney is another incredible story here at EXP. He came on board when we were right around 300 agents right out of school. And he has tracked his very first year. He got Rookie of the Year for the state, I think Arizona. And he has every year just blown it out of the water. And he's treated it as a profession, as a business. This is not a side hustle. This is not a gig. And he started right from the very first step with EXP. And he's an icon agent, and he has had 2 children with EXP and gotten married with EXP. And his story is literally how it can grow you into just this incredible opportunity for early retirement and a happy life.
Kevin's a nice guy. I've met him a few times at the convention.
He's amazing.
So we're doing our convention this November virtual. Everybody else can't seem to meet, right? They're in a low visibility thing with this social distancing and COVID and, you know, projected spikes and all this stuff. Doesn't affect us at all. We did our shareholders meeting in April virtually. I went up there in my avatar and spoke on stage in my bathrobe with a cup of coffee, and we're going to do the convention. No visual needed there. Just
You pulled a Hugh Hefner, didn't you, Rich?
Yeah, it was a red robe. I had a smoker's jacket on, Alexis. Without a cigarette. Anyway, maybe I had a cigarette. Okay, anybody else have any other questions? Anything that you guys need a little bit more data on? Let me make one last comment. This is not meant to replace your real estate career. This is not meant to soak up hours and hours of your time every day. At the end of your cross sale, if you had an agent that you absolutely thought took years off your life, don't say a word. Just be happy you're done. And if you had an agent that you loved, like I had with Lance, one of my favorite deals I've ever done, right? Invite them to this call and say, hey, listen, you know, I think we're all renting our careers. I got something a little different for you. It's an ownership spot. And I think that we could work together on the same team. And if I'm wrong, I wasted an hour. And if you're wrong, you wasted 20 years on the backside of your work. So I think that the odds are good for you to join this call. And they take a look at it and we pitch it for you. Not because we're the best pitchers, but we're just the best looking guys at EXP. Obviously joking. And we are, well, not for Tom, right? But essentially, Tom and I have talked about this so many times that we're comfortable going through the slides, and we want to leverage your time and save you time. So we are able to explain this. We do it every Wednesday at 10 a.m. You can invite anyone you want. Invite the skeptics. Have the skeptics come on at the Q&A and debate me. I love a good, standoff. So we feel so convicted about the model, and we know this thing so well that we are able to really have a high-level conversation. Marcus has got a guy that he's talking to that we're going to have the CFO talk to today to explain things to. We have support, and we have the ability to tap into the leadership and the board of directors and get the information directly from the people that are navigating this entire revolution here. So no matter what state you're in, we're there. If you have a friend that has a friend that has a friend that went to college with a friend that has agents in Colombia, then let's get them on a call and talk to Michael Valdez and see if we can open up Colombia. So I mean, anywhere you can go. We have Spanish slides. We're going to soon have German slides, Italian slides, Portuguese slides, traditional Portuguese slides, not Brazilian Portuguese slides yet. French. We've got a 60-person team that we're talking to in France. We have a lot of things going on. There's companies as big as 1,500 agents in China that are talking to EXP. Our growth can't be projected. The fact is a rising tide lifts all ships. You guys are all going to be shareholders and partners just like Tom and I are. Yet we don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're not restricted, and we are able to grow with this company. I've got a couple more that came in through the work chat, so hold on one second. Victoria, this was one of the best calls so far. Flattery will get you everywhere, Victoria. I already love you. Larry, thank you for the 3-year anniversary. Keely, let me just pull Keely out because she'll never toot her own horn. KW South Park team lead, skeptical, met me, gave it a serious critical thinking period of a few days, came over here by herself. It's Keely and Company, but her company is really just the world. She was pretty much a one-woman shop with a very good assistant. And now she has 300 agents and is one of the key reasons why we're so big in Charlotte. Scott, do you want to give a quick plug about your CMA call? Scott, self-promotion.
Yes.
Well, I guess so, because I'm not making any money on it. So let's talk about it. Zoom ID, I'll put it in the chat box. On 9/10/2020, from 10 to 11:30 Eastern time, I am going to do a live CMA for you on a grid that I created as a former appraiser. And I'm going to teach you how to evaluate a residential real estate property, whether you're with EXP or you're not. If you came to this call and you hated it and you're just hanging on because you're a glutton for punishment, come to the CMA class. You don't have to join. It's all free. So definitely come over. I'm going to teach you how to do that. We have really different, varied experiences at this company, and we collaborate and we give the world the information for free. The meeting ID number, I will type in. It's a Zoom call just like this. I will not be as sarcastic because we got a lot of business to do on that. So I'll write the meeting ID number is 833-397-7325. It's on the chat box. I just did it privately to Charmaine for no reason at all. Hold on, let me do it again. 833.
Charmaine's the only one that gets to come.
I only send Charmaine
Complaining.
messages. Right, so it's a South African privilege. If you're from South Africa, I only send you private messages. Everybody else has to be on the public forum. So anyway, besides, she's the only person I know that drives a Ducati, I think, right? How does she drive?
Harley 48.
Oh, there we go. I knew she would specify. So anyway, if that doesn't get you an extra brownie point, then in my book, nothing gets you that. Sorry. All right, so we do this next Wednesday, 10 o'clock. Tom and I might do it from the porch, although we're a little sweaty, so we might not. And come back on here, listen to it again. We had to hear that, I went to public school. Did you go to public school? Yep. And anyway, we looked out the window a lot and cheated off the smart girl next to us. So we actually had to listen to this like 5 or 6 times before we know. I explained this to Tom on a scrap of paper because we didn't have slides. And he was just so wholeheartedly frustrated with the idea that we were going to retire at 90 that he jumped over based on the worst explanation I've ever given. Brandon Mills, 10 to 11:30 Eastern time on the CMA. Go on my Facebook, friend request me, and then send me a message that we actually know each other, and I'll confirm you, and then you'll see it right on that group. If you guys are with EXP, come into our Power Players Facebook group. We share information on there. Invite the people that are on your teams, okay? It's a huddle. It's a daily huddle. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. It's 11:15.